The day I realized I was a prisoner in my son's house, I was standing at the kitchen sink, washing dishes that weren't mine, in a home that would never be mine, wearing an apron I didn't remember putting on. My hands were raw from the hot water. I had been washing dishes for 3 hours straight, breakfast plates, lunch bowls, snack cups, and now the endless parade of dinner prep. My back ached. My feet throbbed. And somewhere upstairs, I could hear my daughter-in-law's voice, sharp and impatient, calling my name. Mom! Mom! Where are you? The baby needs changing. Not Grandma. Not Mother Elena. Just Mom, like I was her employee. Like I had always belonged to her. I dried my hands on the dish towel and looked out the kitchen window at the American suburb stretching before me. Clean streets. Perfect lawns. Houses that all looked the same. Somewhere out there was freedom. Somewhere out there was my life. But my passport was locked in a drawer upstairs. And I had no idea where the key was. My name is Elena Petrov. I'm 62 years old. I came to America from Romania 6 months ago for what was supposed to be a 3-week visit to see my grandchildren. I haven't left this house, not really left, not on my own terms, since the day I arrived. And it took me 4 months to understand that this was never meant to be a visit at all. This is the story of how I became invisible, and how I finally found my way back into the light. Let me take you back to Romania, to the life I had before everything changed. I lived in a small apartment in Bucharest, on the 4th floor of a building that had survived wars and revolutions and everything in between. It wasn't fancy. The elevator only worked half the time. The pipes groaned in winter. But it was mine. I had lived there for 37 years. My husband, Stefan, and I raised our son Michael there. We celebrated birthdays and name days and Christmases in that apartment. Stefan died there, peacefully, 5 years ago, with his hand in mine and our wedding photo on the nightstand. After he passed, I thought I might be lonely. But I wasn't. I had my routines. I had my neighbors, Mrs. Popescu from across the hall who brought me soup when I was sick, Mr. Ionescu downstairs who fixed my leaking faucet without being asked. I had my small garden on the balcony where I grew tomatoes and herbs. I had my weekly coffee meetings with my friend Anka at the cafe on the corner. I had my independence. Michael had moved to America 12 years ago. He met Jennifer, an American girl, while he was working in New York on a temporary visa. They fell in love. They got married. They had 2 children, Emma, now 7, and baby Lucas, 18 months old. I saw them maybe once a year when they visited Romania. The visits were always brief, always rushed. Jennifer never seemed comfortable in our country. She complained about the food, the language barrier, the old buildings. Michael would apologize for her quietly, when she wasn't listening. She's just not used to it, Mama, he would say. America is different. I understood. Or I thought I did. I knew she came from a different world. I tried not to judge. But I noticed things. Small things. The way Jennifer never helped me cook when they visited. The way she would hand the children to me the moment they became fussy. The way she would schedule hair appointments and shopping trips during their visits, leaving me alone with Michael and the kids. She needs a break, Michael would say. She's with them all the time at home. And I would nod. Because that's what mothers do. We understand. We accommodate. We don't complain. Last year, the phone calls started coming more frequently. Michael would call every week, sometimes twice a week. He always sounded tired. How are you, Mama? He would ask. I'm fine, drag. How are you? How are my grandchildren? They are good. Growing so fast. Emma asks about you all the time. There would be a pause. Then he would say, Jennifer and I were thinking, maybe you could come visit us? Stay for a while. The kids would love to spend time with their grandmother. I was hesitant at first. Michael, America is very far. And very expensive. We'll pay for the ticket, Mama. We want you here. Please. It's been too long. The calls continued. Each time, he sounded more insistent. More desperate, even. The kids need their grandmother, he would say. And honestly, Mama, Jennifer is so overwhelmed. 2 kids, the house, everything. It would help so much if you could just come for a few weeks. Help out a little. Spend time with your grandchildren. Help out a little. Those words should have been my warning. But I missed my son. I missed my grandchildren. And maybe, if I'm honest, I was a little lonely. Mrs. Popescu had moved to live with her daughter. Mr. Ionescu had passed away. Anka's arthritis was getting worse, and she couldn't make it to the cafe as often. So when Michael called in February and said, Mama, please, come in March. Stay for 3 weeks. We'll show you America. The kids are so excited. I said yes. I bought new clothes. I practiced my English with an old textbook. I printed out photos of the grandchildren to show my neighbors. Everyone was happy for me. How wonderful, they said. America. You'll have such a lovely time. I packed my small suitcase carefully. 2 weeks worth of clothes. Gifts for the children. A jar of my homemade zakuska that I knew Michael loved. My medications. My documents, passport, identification, medical records, all in a neat folder. I watered my plants one last time. I asked my neighbor's daughter to check on my apartment while I was gone. I locked the door and left the key with her. On the plane, I felt nervous and excited all at once. Nervous because I had never flown so far. Excited because I would finally see where my son lived, where my grandchildren were growing up. I didn't know I was saying goodbye to my old life forever. Michael picked me up at the airport. He looked different than I remembered, older, thinner, with dark circles under his eyes. But when he saw me, he smiled, and for a moment he looked like my little boy again. Mama! He hugged me tight. I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad too, Drag. Where are Jennifer and the children? At home. Jennifer wasn't feeling well, and it's hard to get both kids ready for the airport. You'll see them soon. The drive to their house took 4 to 5 minutes. Michael talked the whole time, pointing out landmarks, explaining American things I didn't understand. I watched the landscape change from city to suburb, all those identical houses with their perfect lawns. Their house was large, much larger than I expected. 2 stories, brick front, attached garage, a small yard with a swing set. This is beautiful, Michael, I said as we pulled into the driveway. Jennifer's parents helped with the down payment, he said quietly. We're very lucky. Inside, the house was even bigger. Hardwood floors, modern furniture, a kitchen with gleaming appliances I didn't recognize. Toys scattered across the living room floor. Jennifer appeared at the top of the stairs. She was wearing yoga pants and an oversized sweater, her blonde hair pulled back in a messy ponytail. She looked tired, annoyed, even. Oh good, you're finally here, she said, coming down. She didn't hug me. She barely smiled. The kids have been asking for you all day. Emma, Lucas, come say hi to Grandma. Emma came running, a beautiful little girl with Michael's dark eyes and Jennifer's blonde hair. She wrapped her arms around my legs. Grandma, you're here. You're really here. My heart swelled. Hello, my darling. Look how big you are. Baby Lucas toddled over, shy, peeking at me from behind his sister. I knelt down, despite my aching knees, and held out my arms. He came to me slowly, and when I picked him up, he smelled like baby shampoo and milk. This was why I came. Kids, let Grandma breathe, Jennifer said. She just got off a long flight. Elena, let me show you to your room. She led me upstairs to a small bedroom at the end of the hall. It was nice enough, a twin bed, a dresser, a small window overlooking the backyard. But it felt temporary, like a guest room. Which, of course, it was. Bathrooms across the hall, Jennifer said. You'll be sharing with the kids, so try to keep it clean. Unpack, rest, whatever. Dinner's at 6. She left before I could thank her. I sat on the bed and looked around. The room was cold, impersonal. I opened my suitcase and began to unpack, hanging my few dresses in the closet, placing my toiletries on the dresser. Then I took out my folder of documents, passport, ID, medical records, bank statements. Important things. Things I would need. I wasn't sure where to put them. The room had no lock on the door. I didn't want to leave them out where the children might find them and play with them. I went back downstairs. Jennifer was in the kitchen, chopping vegetables with aggressive efficiency. Jennifer, excuse me, I said. Is there a safe place I can keep my documents? My passport and things. She looked up. Oh, yeah, don't worry about that. Michael and I have a safe in our bedroom. We'll put them in there for you. For safekeeping. Oh, that's very kind, but I can just... No, seriously, it's better this way. We keep all our important documents in there. Birth certificates, social security cards, all that stuff. You don't want to lose your passport. That would be a nightmare. She held out her hand. I hesitated. Something in my chest tightened. But what could I say? It made sense. It was logical. And I didn't want to seem paranoid or ungrateful. I went back upstairs and got the folder. I handed it to her. Thank you, I said. She smiled. It was the first real smile she'd given me. No problem. You're family now. We'll take care of you. She took the folder and disappeared upstairs. I didn't see it again for 4 months. The first week was nice. Almost perfect. Michael took a few days off work to spend time with me. We went to the park. We visited a museum. Jennifer even made a nice dinner one night. Pot roast with potatoes. Very American, very different from my cooking, but thoughtful. Emma followed me everywhere, chattering constantly, showing me her toys, her books, her drawings. Lucas warmed up to me quickly, reaching for me whenever I was near, calling me Gamma in his sweet baby voice. I helped around the house, of course. It felt natural. I did dishes after meals. I folded laundry. I played with the children while Jennifer took a shower or made phone calls. "You don't have to do all that, Mama," Michael said once, watching me sweep the kitchen floor. "I want to help," I said. "I'm here. Why not?" He smiled. "Thank you. It means a lot to us." By the second week, Michael was back at work full-time. He left early in the morning and came home after 6. The house felt different without him. Quieter. Tenser. Jennifer started asking me to do more things. "Elena, can you watch Lucas while I run to the store?" "Elena, Emma needs lunch. Can you make her something?" "Elena, the kitchen's a mess. Do you mind cleaning up?" I didn't mind. Not at first. I was a guest, yes, but I was also a grandmother. Helping with family was what grandmothers did. But by the 3rd week, the requests became expectations. Instructions, even. "Elena, make sure you give Lucas his bottle at exactly 1 p.m. Not before, not after. He needs to stay on schedule." "Elena, Emma can only have 1 snack between lunch and dinner. Don't let her con you into giving her more." "Elena, when you mop the floors, use the blue bucket, not the red one. The red one is only for bathrooms." There were lists on the refrigerator. Schedules. Rules. My name was on many of them. Elena's tasks, morning dishes, children's breakfast, Lucas's diaper changes, playroom cleanup, laundry folding, afternoon snack prep. I stayed at that list one morning while Jennifer was upstairs. My 3-week visit was supposed to end in 2 days. I hadn't seen any sights beyond that first week. I hadn't visited any stores on my own. I hadn't even taken a walk around the neighborhood by myself. Every time I mentioned going out, Jennifer would say, "Oh, but can you watch Lucas? I have a headache, or Emma really wants to play with you, or it's supposed to rain later." And I would stay. That evening, I brought it up at dinner. "Michael, my flight home is in 2 days," I said carefully. "I should probably start packing." There was a long silence. Michael and Jennifer exchanged a look. It was quick, but I saw it. A look that said they had already discussed this. Already decided something. "Actually, Mama," Michael said slowly, "we were hoping you might extend your visit. Maybe another few weeks. The kids have gotten so attached to you." "Oh, I would love to, but my ticket." "We'll change it," Jennifer said quickly. "It's not a big deal. We can call the airline tomorrow." "But my apartment, I should." "Your neighbor's checking on it, right?" Michael said. "I'm sure another few weeks won't hurt. Please, Mama. It's been so nice having you here." Emma tugged on my sleeve. "Please stay, Grandma. Please." How could I say no? "Okay," I said. "A few more weeks." Jennifer smiled. Michael relaxed. Neither of them mentioned my passport locked in their safe upstairs. The few more weeks became a month. Then 6 weeks. Then 2 months. Every time I asked about my return flight, there was an excuse. "We'll book it next week, Mama. The airline is having computer issues. We're waiting for a better price. Maybe it's better to wait until after Emma's birthday." I started to feel uneasy, then trapped, then desperate. My routines became rigid. Wake at 6 a.m., make breakfast, feed the children, clean the kitchen, do laundry, watch Lucas, make lunch, clean again, entertain Emma, start dinner prep, serve dinner, clean again, bath time for the kids, bedtime stories, then, finally, collapse into my small bed, exhausted, only to do it all again the next day. Jennifer stopped asking me to do things. She stopped saying please and thank you. She simply expected. And if I didn't do something exactly right, she would sigh heavily or redo it in front of me, shaking her head. "Elena, I told you Lucas doesn't like his food mixed together." "Elena, you're folding the towels wrong. They won't fit in the closet like that." "Elena, why is there water on the bathroom floor? You need to be more careful." I felt myself shrinking, becoming smaller, less visible. I was no longer Elena, the woman with her own life. I was just Mom, the unpaid help. Michael was no help. He was never home. And when he was tired, distant, checked out. He ate dinner in silence, played with the kids for 10 minutes, then disappeared into his office to work more. I tried to talk to him once, catching him in the kitchen late at night. Michael, I need to go home soon, I said softly. It's been almost 3 months. He rubbed his face. I know, Mama. I know. It's just, things are really crazy right now. Work is insane. Jennifer is stressed. The kids need you. Can you just hold on a little longer? But my apartment. We're paying your neighbor to check on it. It's fine. My friends. You can call them anytime. Michael, I want to go home. He looked at me then, really looked at me, and I saw something in his eyes I didn't recognize. Guilt, maybe. Or resignation. Soon, Mama. I promise. Soon. But soon never came. One afternoon in my 4th month there, I was folding laundry in the living room while Lucas napped. Jennifer was upstairs on a video call with her mother, her voice carrying down through the vents. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but I heard my name. I know, Mom, she's been here forever. But honestly, it's been such a lifesaver. I haven't had to pay for daycare in months. Do you know how expensive childcare is? We're saving like $2,000 a month. I froze, a tiny shirt clutched in my hands. And she does everything. All the cleaning, the cooking, the kids. I barely have to lift a finger. Michael's mom is way more helpful than I ever thought she'd be. My stomach turned to ice. No, she hasn't mentioned leaving recently. I think she's settled in. And even if she wants to go back, honestly, I'm going to convince her to stay. We need her. She's free labor, Mom. Free. I set down the shirt very carefully. My hands were shaking. Free labor. Not beloved grandmother. Not honored guest. Free labor. I walked to the bottom of the stairs. Jennifer's voice was still going. Her passport? Oh, we have it locked up. Michael's idea. He said it's safer that way. And honestly, I think he's worried she'll just book a flight and leave without telling us. Which would be a disaster because who's going to watch Lucas when I have my yoga certification course next month? I couldn't breathe. They had taken my passport not for safekeeping, but to trap me. I turned and walked back to the kitchen. I gripped the edge of the counter and stared out the window at the suburban street, at the houses full of people living their own lives while I was imprisoned in mine. I thought about my apartment in Bucharest, empty now for 4 months. I thought about Anka, who I hadn't spoken to in weeks because I was too exhausted, too ashamed. I thought about my balcony garden, probably dead by now. I thought about the woman I used to be, and I realized she was gone. They had taken her, piece by piece, day by day, until there was nothing left but an unpaid servant in a house that would never be mine. That night, after everyone was asleep, I tried the door to Michael and Jennifer's bedroom. It was locked. I went back to my small room and sat on the bed in the dark. And for the first time in 62 years, I didn't know what to do. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in the dark, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing. I had no passport, no money. My pension was being deposited into my Romanian bank account, which I couldn't access easily from here. No phone plan that worked in America beyond the Wi-Fi in the house. No friends. No one who knew where I really was or how I was being treated. I was alone. Completely alone. But I wasn't helpless. Not yet. The next morning, I began to pay attention. Really pay attention. To the way the house worked. To Michael and Jennifer's routines. To where things were kept. I noticed that Jennifer kept her purse on a hook by the garage door. I noticed that Michael's laptop was sometimes left open in his office. I noticed that the mail came every day at 2 p.m., when Jennifer was usually upstairs with Lucas for his nap. I needed information. I needed a plan. And I needed to be smart about it. 3 days later, when Jennifer went to her Pilates class and Emma was at school, I slipped into Michael's office. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I might faint. His laptop was open, unlocked. I sat down, my hands trembling. I opened his email and searched for my name. What I found made me sick. An email from 3 months ago, from Jennifer to Michael. Your mom's visit has been amazing. I haven't had to hire a nanny. She does everything. We should see if we can get her to stay longer. Maybe permanently. Think about how much money we'd save. Michael's response. I'll talk to her. But we have to be careful. She's pretty independent. We might need to make it difficult for her to leave. At least until we figure out a better childcare solution. Another email, From 2 months ago, Jennifer to her mother. Mil is still here. I keep putting off her return flight. Michael has her passport locked up. I know it sounds bad, but honestly, we need her. I can't do this alone. And she seems happy enough. She loves the kids. I felt like I was reading about a stranger, about someone else's life. But it was mine. My life. My freedom. Stolen. I took photos of the emails with the old phone camera I had brought from Romania, which still worked on Wi-Fi. Then I closed the laptop and went back downstairs before Jennifer came home. That night, I didn't eat dinner. I said I had a headache. Are you okay, Mama? Michael asked, actually looking concerned for the first time in weeks. I'm fine, I said. Just tired. Jennifer rolled her eyes. Well, try to rest up. Tomorrow's going to be busy. I have that dentist appointment. Remember? You'll have both kids all day. I went to my room and closed the door. I sat on the bed and opened my old phone. I had one person I could trust. One person who might understand. I called Anka. It was very late in Romania, but she answered after 3 rings. Elena? Elena, is that you? Where have you been? I've been so worried. Her voice broke something inside me. I started crying. Quietly, so no one would hear. Anka, I whispered. I need help. I told her everything. The passport. The emails. The way I was being treated. The way I had become invisible. She was silent for a long moment. Then she said very calmly, Elena, listen to me. You need to leave that house. This is not immigration trouble. This is imprisonment. This is elder abuse. But how? I have no passport, no money. You have your mind. You have your strength. Listen to me carefully. We talked for an hour. She gave me names, numbers, resources. Organizations that helped immigrants. Legal aid services. The Romanian embassy in Washington, D.C. She made me promise to call them. To ask for help. You are not invisible, Elena, she said fiercely. You are a human being. You are my friend. And you are not going to disappear in that house. Do you hear me? I hear you. Call them tomorrow. Promise me. I promise. After we hung up, I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Hope. The next morning, while Jennifer was at her dentist appointment and both kids were occupied with tablets, I made the calls. First, to the Romanian embassy. I explained my situation to a very kind woman named Adriana who worked in the consular section. Mrs. Petrov, what you're describing is a very serious situation, she said. You have the right to your documents. They cannot legally keep your passport from you. That is, in fact, a form of false imprisonment. What can I do? I asked, my voice shaking. First, you need to document everything. Write down dates, times, conversations. If you can safely take photos of those emails, do it. Second, I'm going to give you the number for a legal aid organization that specializes in immigrant elder abuse. They can help you. And third, if you feel you are in immediate danger, call 911. Do you understand? Yes. Yes, I understand. She gave me the numbers. She made me repeat them back. Then she said, Mrs. Petrov, you are not alone. We will help you. But you need to be brave. Can you be brave? Yes, I whispered. I can be brave. I called the legal aid organization next. They asked me detailed questions. They told me they could send someone to do a welfare check. They told me they could help me get my passport back through legal means. How long will it take? I asked. It depends. A few days, maybe a week. Can you stay safe that long? I thought about it. About the locked door. About the lists on the refrigerator. About the way Jennifer looked at me like I was furniture. Yes, I said. I can stay safe. I hung up and sat there in the kitchen, my heart racing. I had taken the first step. Now I needed to take the second. That evening, I confronted Michael. I waited until Jennifer was giving the kids a bath. I walked into his office and closed the door. Michael, we need to talk. He looked up from his laptop, surprised. Mama, what's wrong? I want to go home. We've talked about this. No. My voice was stronger than I expected. We haven't talked. You've made excuses. But I'm done. I want my passport. I want to book a flight. And I want to go home next week. His face changed. Became harder. Mama, you're being unreasonable. We need you here. I am not your employee, Michael. I am your mother. I know that. Do you? Because I have been working in this house like a servant for 4 months. No pay. No respect. No freedom. You took my passport. You trapped me here. He stood up. That's not fair. We've given you a place to stay, food, everything. I didn't ask to stay. I came to visit. For 3 weeks. Well, plans change. You lied to me, Michael. You and Jennifer. You brought me here to use me. He opened his mouth. Closed it. I saw the guilt flash across his face. I read your emails, I said quietly. I know what you said. Make it difficult for her to leave. I know about Jennifer telling her mother I'm free labor. I know everything. He sank back into his chair, his face pale. Mama, I have contacted the Romanian embassy, I continued. I have contacted legal aid. If you do not give me my passport tomorrow, they will get it for me. With police, if necessary. You can't. I can. And I will. Because I am not your prisoner, Michael. I am your mother. And you have broken my heart. I turned and left the office. My legs were shaking so badly I barely made it to my room. But I had done it. I had stood up. I had fought back. I was no longer invisible. The next morning, my passport was on the kitchen table. No explanation. No apology. Just the passport, sitting there next to my coffee cup. Jennifer wouldn't look at me. Michael had already left for work. I picked up the passport and held it against my chest. I felt tears sting my eyes. Not tears of sadness. Tears of relief. 2 days later, a woman from the legal aid organization came to the house. Her name was Maria, and she was kind and professional and completely unfazed by Jennifer's hostility. Mrs. Petrov has the right to leave whenever she chooses, Maria explained calmly. She is not under any legal obligation to provide childcare or household services. She came here as a visitor, and she will leave as one. She's family, Jennifer said coldly. Family helps each other. Family doesn't imprison each other, Maria replied. I booked my flight for the following week. Michael barely spoke to me during those final days. Jennifer stopped speaking to me entirely. Emma cried and asked why I was leaving. Lucas didn't understand. It broke my heart to leave the children. But I couldn't stay. Not like this. Not as a prisoner in my son's house. The morning I left, Michael drove me to the airport in silence. At the departure curb, he finally spoke. I'm sorry, Mama. I looked at him, my son, my only child, the boy I had raised with so much love, and I felt both grief and relief. I'm sorry too, Michael, I said. Sorry that you thought this was okay. Sorry that you became someone I don't recognize. Will you forgive me? I thought about it. Really thought about it. Maybe someday, I said honestly. But not today. Today I need to go home. To my home. To my life. I got out of the car. I walked into the airport. I didn't look back. The flight home felt like waking from a nightmare. When I landed in Bucharest, Anka was waiting for me at the airport. She wrapped me in her arms and held me while I cried. Welcome home, Draga Maya, she whispered. Welcome home. My apartment was exactly as I had left it. A little dusty. A little empty. But mine. I opened the windows. I watered my plants. Miraculously, some had survived. I made myself tea in my own kitchen with my own cup. I stood on my balcony and looked out at the city I loved, at the streets I knew, at the life I had almost lost. And I breathed. It's been 6 months since I came back to Romania. 6 months since I escaped. I don't use that word lightly. Escape. But that's what it was. Michael calls sometimes. The conversations are short and awkward. He asks how I am. I ask about the children. We don't talk about what happened. Not yet. Maybe not ever. Jennifer never calls. I don't expect her to. I miss my grandchildren every single day. I look at their photos and I ache. But I also know that I couldn't stay. That staying would have cost me everything I am. I've learned something through all of this. Something important. Love should never require you to disappear. Family should never require you to sacrifice your dignity, your freedom, your selfhood. And being a grandmother doesn't mean being a servant. I am 62 years old. I have my own life. My own home. My own identity. I am not invisible. I never was. My friends here have been wonderful. Anka throws me a small party every month to celebrate Independence Day, the day I came home. Mrs. Popescu's daughter moved back to the building, and we have coffee together every week. I've joined a community garden and started growing vegetables again. I'm rebuilding. Slowly, carefully, but I'm rebuilding. And I'm not alone. Through the legal aid organization, I connected with other grandmothers who had similar experiences. Women brought from India, the Philippines, Mexico, Eastern Europe, all with the same story. Promised a visit, trapped into servitude, invisible in their children's homes. We meet once a month now, here in Bucharest, through video calls. We share our stories. We support each other. We remind each other that we matter. Because we do matter. Our work raising our children matters. Our independence matters. Our dignity matters. We are not just free babysitters. We are not just unpaid housekeepers. We are human beings with our own lives, our own dreams, our own worth. So I want to ask you something, whoever is listening to this story. Have you ever felt invisible? Have you ever been made to believe that your only value is in what you do for others? Have you ever sacrificed so much of yourself that you forgot who you were? If you have, I want you to know, you are not alone. And you are not invisible. You matter. Your life matters. Your freedom matters. Don't let anyone, not even family, not even people you love, take that away from you. As for me, I'm doing well. Really well. My balcony garden is thriving. I've planted tomatoes and peppers and herbs. Every morning, I water them and watch the sun rise over Bucharest, and I feel grateful. Grateful for my small apartment. Grateful for my independence. Grateful for my life. Grateful that I found my way home. If my story resonated with you, please share it. There are so many grandmothers, so many parents, so many people trapped in situations like mine. They need to know they are not alone. They need to know there is help. They need to know they can come home. And if you're someone who has elderly family members living with you, ask yourself this. Are you treating them with dignity? With respect? With love? Or are you using them? There's a difference. And it matters. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for seeing me. I am Elena Petrov. I am 62 years old. I live in Bucharest, Romania, in a small apartment on the 4th floor. And I am home. I am finally home. Would you have done what I did? Would you have found the strength to leave? Tell me in the comments below. And please, if you know someone who might be going through something similar, share this story with them. Let them know there is hope. Let them know there is help. Like and subscribe for more real-life stories of courage, survival, and finding your way home. Until next time, remember, you are never too old to reclaim your life. You are never too late to come home to yourself. This is Elena's story, but it could be anyone's story. Don't let it be yours.